They told me I wasn't gonna get far.
What's up, amigos? Prodigy Maker Minute with yours truly, Chris Lewitt. As you may know, I'm the former #1 for Cornell University, pro circuit player, elite junior development coach, and author and educator, author of The Secrets of Spanish Tennis and the Tennis Technique Bible. On this Prodigy Maker Minute, I wanted to answer some community questions that we have from the YouTube channel. A lot of you commented about my boxing video and how I felt that boxing is good for tennis. And you had some questions about, what type of protocols might I use if I were coaching someone and including boxing in their training plan, or if you're a player yourself watching, what can you do in terms of boxing to help your tennis? So I love boxing. I love kickboxing. The sparring and fighting is more debatable because of the risk of, mainly the risk of concussion, which is a serious risk, especially for kids. But the boxing training itself should not be discounted, and it's really, really valuable. And I argued that in another video. But I think a lot of parents and maybe coaches are a little too quick to dismiss boxing. Boxing sometimes has a bad reputation because of the risk of concussion and long-term brain injury. But if you get into the sweet science of boxing, if you study the way boxers train, there's so many wonderful things in boxing that you can use to help a tennis player. So I would say number one is the speed bag. The speed bag is a little bag that you work on in the gym. You can get one for your home. I just ordered one for my Christmas present, really nice new speed bag. And I'm going to set up in my basement. And it's great for cardio. It's great for hand-eye coordination. You can work on your rhythm, So I think the speed bag is awesome. And it's a whole technique and a kind of an art to getting the speed bag going. And I would highly recommend that it's one of the things you can do. It's mainly like an upper body cardio work. And it also builds a lot of endurance in your upper body and your shoulders. So muscular endurance, fantastic, very cool workout protocol from boxing. Boxers do a lot of jump rope. I think jump rope's good. It's not one of my favorite things to train, but there's a lot of sequences with the jump rope. If you're into the jump rope, it's really easy to carry. It's portable. It can take it with you. It's definitely good for a warm up or for to work on your agility, your footwork and agility, your coordination. I have some reservations about the jump rope because I think at some point it becomes sort of artificial because you're working on patterns that are, you're just getting better and better at a pattern, kind of like a footwork ladder, where a lot of trainers now are not really into the footwork ladder for agility for tennis. And I think the jump rope can be the same way. I also worry about the jump rope in terms of repetitive pounding. If you do the jump rope on a hard surface, I wouldn't recommend that. I would try to do jump rope on something soft like dirt or turf. And because tennis players already get a lot of pounding on the court, and I don't really like the idea of like the extra pounding if you're doing a lot of long jump ropes. If you're doing like quick patterns and you're working on speed and agility, kind of like the speed of the rope and then agility and like that's all well and good. Or like a quick warm up, that's good. Jump rope is good for that. Just be careful with the pounding on the knees and the back and the joints, joints of the lower body. Let's see, what else do I like? I had a question from a community member in our YouTube community. He said he's getting a heavy bag, and what do I think about a heavy bag? And the heavy bag, I actually used to do a lot of work on the heavy bag. It's very simple and convenient. You can set it up, in your basement in your house, or just don't shake the walls down because it makes a lot of vibration. But actually, that vibration I think can be tough on the wrists and the joints of the arms. So and the shoulder. So I would caution you to be careful about doing a lot of heavy bag work, especially with a tennis player who's hitting a lot of balls. The shoulder's already getting a lot of load and vibration from the racket. And I get a little concerned if you're doing a lot of heavy bag work with the dominant arm that you're using for tennis. I remember when I was doing a lot of heavy bag work and also training, I started to get like some aches in my wrist, some aches in my elbow, depending on what type of punches you're throwing. Or kicks. You could also, and if you're doing a lot of kicks on the heavy bag, you can also, it's quite strenuous on the joints, and there's a lot of vibration and shock that runs through the joints and the musculature. So I would just, advise you that if you're going to use a heavy bag, be judicious and maybe only do it on days off, or try not to take the right amount of rest in between sets, and try not to overload, especially the dominant arm, with a lot of heavy bag punching and then going to play tennis. I think that can be there can be a potential risk of injury. I think my favorite thing for boxing is working with the focus mitts. Unfortunately, you need a trainer to do that with you, a partner, where the partner has the pads or the mitts, and the player, the athlete, the boxer, is working on trying to see the mitts and then strike the mitt, because it's not as much impact or shock on the joints and the musculature of the upper body and the arms and the shoulders, but it's like fantastic coordination workout. Then you can still work on your power. So focus mitts are amazing workout, and you can also like dance around the ring or the cage, and working on the mitts is like good footwork workout, and also really good for the hands and the eyes. I would say there are MMA bags. Like I have this MMA bag that's a stand-up bag that's a little softer than a heavy bag. It's really nice because you can work all your punches and kicks and your coordination, but it's a little softer, so it has more give, and you won't get as much shock like running down your arm, your wrist, to your elbow, to your shoulder. Like you don't want to overload the shoulder. So you have to be a little careful when you're doing a lot of boxing or a lot of kicking. So those would be some caveats. I will add some more thoughts about boxing or kickboxing in another Prodigy Maker Minute, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. If you like this kind of information, check out my big show, The Prodigy Maker Show. Maybe we'll do a show about boxing. It's available on this YouTube channel live and also on your favorite podcasting platforms. I'll see you guys on the next program.
So I told him like this, look. Who's back? Lean back, see how I ride, I gotta do my thing.